Hello, boys and girls. Here I am back again. Now, I've been showing you my variation listings of late, and I've had a few requests for me to do an updated how to do variation listings video and show how I'm doing them, seeing as I've had lots of practice. So that's what I'm going to do today. Are you all excited? Hope so. Here we are in the schoolroom. So that's what I'm going to do, is show you what I do. Now, there's a bit of prep that I do to start with. I make sure I've got everything that I need ready. Now, there's a few tools that I use when I do my variation listings, and my latest little friend is my little, if I can get it to show, my little 3D scanner here, and it's great. And it's hard because it reads the barcodes, and not everyone puts barcodes in. It's hard to get a really fair income price when you're comping books, but this is great for, as Jaz from Two Aussie Thrifters said on their members live the other night, is that this is great for eliminating books. So it's really good. I do a check of all my books that have got a barcode and see whether they're going to be worth listing as a one-off or whether they should be put into a variation listing. So I simply go through, scan. If I decide that they've got to go into a variation listing, then I put them in one pile. I put the books that I'm going to list singly in another pile. So that's tool number one. Tool number two is my favourite label remover. This one is the one I tested a lot. I bought quite a few and I tested them. And this one's not too bad. It can be very helpful. And there's also this one, which is good. The good thing about this one is and the other one that I just showed you, is that they are harder to lose. Like, they're bigger so you can see them. This one works the best, I have to say, but because it's so small, it's a pain in the butt because you lose it. So what I've done is actually put a key ring on there. I've got a nice little, but you want something that's not going to annoy you too much when you're actually doing them. So I've chosen this one, and it's just this nice little one that's got a little tag on it that says, "Never forget how strong you are." And there's a cute little elephant on there as well. See, it's got the writing on there. So that's very cute. So that's really good, because if I see a sticker as I'm doing my books, I will quickly take the sticker off because that saves me doing it when I'm doing the photos. So I always have that sitting next to me. What else? Oh, the other thing I have prepped and ready is I have one of my shopping trolleys. My granny shopping trolley is sitting right next to me. So the books that I'm going to put into variation listings, or that I'm going to take photos of today, go straight in there. So that's ready to go. And then next to that, I've got piles of books, the ones that I'm going to put into variation listings. So let's get started. How do we do it? First thing I do is I go into my template page, because I have a template made up for my variation listings, and it's got the wording that I'm going to use on every listing. And that way I don't have to worry about redoing that particular wording. So I'm going to bring that up. So we're going to create a listing. The other thing I do, I must admit that I do, is some of the books that are in my death pile, I look at them and I think, I'm not sure whether I have already listed that or not. Maybe it got mixed up. So sometimes I'll double check and go into my active listings and my scheduled listings and make sure that I haven't already got that one up. So this is my title. I have that pre-put in. The only thing is, for some reason, it won't save the heart that I put at the end. Now, the reason I do that is because when someone has bought something out of my variation listings before, and then they come back to look again to see what else I've got, when they are scrolling down the pages of, if they type in something like choose your titles or something like that, which a lot of the variation listings have, they can see my listing straight away because I've got that little heart there. So I put that little heart at the end. Then I go to the other end, and here is where I start with a book that I've got that I'm going to do. So this is the first one. This is Catherine Kerr, and I have already comped these to make sure that they're not going to be good enough to sell on their own. As a matter of fact, these were in bundles. They've sat on my shelf for 12 months in a bundle. They haven't sold, so I've taken the bundles down, and now I'm going to list them as a variation listing. So the first thing I'll put in is I'll put in the author's name, and I usually put their surname in capital letters. And then I'll type in the type of books that they are. So these are fantasy books. So I'm going to put fantasy in there. Now I've got 70, I've used 70 characters, so I can still fit a bit more in there. So I'm going to put paperbacks. Oh, I'm one short. How I'm going to get around that, because I'm just one short, is I'm actually going to take the S off titles there, and then I'm going to put the space up here. And the reason I'm doing that is because if someone searches titles, it'll still bring title up. Like, even though I've only got title in there, it'll still bring that up, because it will still bring you up anything that's got an S on it. It'll still bring up the same. Now, the list faster part has picked up that it is fantasy, so I'll tick that, so I won't have to put that in later. I then put in my SKU. These are from my stock, and I know that that stock out there is, I paid, on average, it works out, because some of this was free and some of this I've paid for, what's out there works out about 50 cents a book. So I put that it's 50 cents, and then I put the date that I've done this listing, so I know when it's going up. I've got books for my store category. I've also got vintage for my store category, which these ones are, and I can untick that if it's not vintage. And we're going to put the author's name in here. Oh, Catherine Kerr. Oops, missed that. Put the name in. So that's that done. Now, I start the very first book that I'm doing. I will simply use that one. I don't worry about what it is. I will just put that in as this book, because it doesn't really matter. Now, if I'm listing, for example, if I'm doing, say, crime books with a variety of authors, I will put all the authors in. So I'll keep adding authors. So I could do that here. I could put, extra authors in. So you can put, I think you can put like 25 or something in. So yeah, I make sure of that. So if someone's actually searching for that author, it will automatically come up. I have in my template, I've already filled in English there. I've already filled in books here, but I'm going to fill in some other things. So I'm going to say dragons. I'm going to say, futurism. I'm going to say sci-fi, and any other topics that you want to put in, you can put in there. Then it says series. So this book here, I think, is Days of Air and Darkness. Is the series, and publisher is HarperCollins. Put that in. And we've got fantasy here. I don't need to put the fictional literature in, but I will put in science fiction in there. And it is a paperback, so I've got that filled out. And then we've got the region of manufacture, country of manufacture. So have a quick look here. What have we got? Printed in Great Britain. So I'll just be able to click that. Should have had a look at the publication year while I was in there, shouldn't I? Publication year is, this is a special overseas edition, published in 1995. Original language I have pre-filled out too, which is English. I have fiction pre-filled out. I have novel pre-filled out. And then I have certain things here pre-filled out. So I have unabridged, just in case there isn't anything else that, is a feature. And I usually, with this type of book, I have cover art, so that one's fine. And then I always have the young adults and adults pre-filled out, because that's a lot of the books are suitable for that, which these ones are, so that's fine. And I've got first edition here, which this one is, and paperback edition in case it is that. Now, this particular one, because it is a special edition and it is an international edition, so I'm going to click those as well. And vintage, yes. Now I'm going to skip past the variation part first to start with, and I'm going to go down here to my description. I suppose I should. So first of all, we've got our condition. So with the condition, because it's a range, you've got some books that are acceptable, some books that are good, some books might be very good. My thought on that is I put good as the main thing, because that will entice more people to have a look at your books. And then I say in my description, acceptable to very good pre-owned condition, with each book having various wearers shown. And then I also say some books may be ex-library and contain writing and or library stamps and stickers, or may have some writing inside the cover as shown, because if there is writing inside, when it comes to the photos, I will take a photograph of the writing inside. So I have that in my condition, and I actually repeat that down here in my description as well. And then I go on to say in my description, photographs are of the actual books you will receive. The condition of secondhand books is often subjective to individuals, and occasionally small marks or issues may be missed. I provide many photos because they say a picture paints 1,000 words, blah, 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 blah. Right. So then we need a general blurb. So what do? So just bear with me a minute. I'm going to swap pages over to this one. So this is ChatGTP. And if you've never used it before, give it a try, because it's absolutely fantastic. I've been training my ChatGTP to remember how I like my blurbs written. So all I have to do is write in here, blurb for variation listing for author Catherine Kerr, and I hit enter and it will create a really good, exactly how I like mine. So with different things highlighted, exactly how I like it. And then all I have to do is copy that. So I just copy that. It's highlighted her name. It's highlighted my buy two, get one free. And it's got put in italics. It's put the fantasy, adventure, that type of thing. So that is really, really good. So now we're going to go back to the other page. And all I have to do is, oops, hang on, not sure why it didn't, no, it hasn't copied the bold. But anyway, I can fix that up later. I'll just highlight all that and change the colour. Now, I also have included on mine, postage is $9.99 no matter how many books you purchase across the full range of buy two, get one free books. And I have got it set up so this is a link here and they can click on that to see any other books they might like to add in. And then I've just got my basic shipping information, and if you have questions, etc., down the bottom. So I always put the blurb is about the author as opposed to, now I've trained my ChatGPT to know that I do not want it to put specific titles in there because I may not have that title. So I've trained it just to talk about and what I want it to say. So you just train it how to do that. But quick and easy way to get that blurb, which is great. And then I go down here and we have multi-variation postal policies, which is correct. But if you're going to do international shipping, which is something I always advise, then you need to sort of put weights in for your books. So these are slightly bigger books. So I'm going to put in that 501 for that. And so that's all set up now. Now I'm going to go back to the variation section and I'm going to go edit. Now, the first thing we need to do is put the titles of the books that we have in here. So you click on edit here. Now, how I do mine is I actually do the drafts first, and I'm finding that saving me a lot of time because if I do the drafts first and if I need to put, say, a year or the publisher in the title, which I'll show you in a minute, because I may have the same book but two different versions with different covers, and I might want to include them both. So if that's the case and I need to include those things, I can do that now. And that saves me taking extra photos because if I don't put that in now, I then have to make sure I take extra photos when I'm doing the photos. And the beauty of doing variation listings is you don't need very many photos of each book. So I'm going to go create my own. I'm going to put in the title, which is A Time, of Justice. And I'm not sure whether I've got this in multiple different books. But anyway, I'm going to put in 1995 and I'm going to put, and that's all I'm going to put for that one. So I'm going to go add. And then I had booking here set up so that I could have the variation part set up. So I just need to delete that and I've got my book there. Now, if I've got lots of books, like so when I was doing, for example, I did a big lot of Emily Rodder's, so I had lots of different books. I put them in the order that I want to list them to appear. That saves me having to resort that later on. So that's that one. Right, the next book I've got is Dagger Spell, and it says, what's the series called of this one? This is volume 1. Tell me more, tell me more. So it must be Dagger Spell, must be the series, is it? Yeah. Let's see what the other books say. I've got a couple of doubles here, so Dagger Spell must be the series, and it must be also the book name for this one. So, oops. The spares, I've got another spot where I put the spares, so I've got two of the same one there. So I'm just putting that one over there, and I'm just going to get the year of this one, which is 1987. And the reason I do that is because some people may be looking for a particular version of a book and want to make sure that they've got the right covers. So that's why I do that. Oh, I should have put volume 1. Now, if you do make an error and you need to change, you've made a spelling mistake or something like that on these, you can't edit it. You have to retype it and remove the other one. So I will do that. Volume 1, 1987. So I'm going to add that one, and then I'm going to press the little cross here, and that will take the other one out. So that's better. So this one is, now she's written this one in conjunction with another author. So when I finish putting these in, when I go back out, I'll add his name into the author's list. So this one's called Palace, a novel of the Pinch, it says. Pinch, and then I'm going to, now this is an ex-library one, so it's got stamps and things in it. 1996. Add. So that's why I have it written in the description there. I'm running out of room. And then the next one is the bristling wood, and it's Dawn Spell, and it's volume 3. So I might put this one differently because I'm going to put that first, Dawn Spell, and then it's the bristling wood, and it is volume 3 of the Devery series. So I'll put that in. Let's see, let me fit the year in. 1989. No, not enough room. Sometimes it's not enough room if you have a big title like that, which means I'm going to have to do another one of these again to include that series name. So I'll take that out. Volume 1, Devery, 1987. Add. And then I'll remove that one out again. I'll show you how to sort them in a minute, which, as I said, if you pre-sort them in the order, that's one less step that you need to do. And this time I've got Dark Spell, Volume 2, Devery. As a matter of fact, what I should have done is this. Put that at Devery in capital letters. Does make it look a bit better. And the other ones I'll fix at a later. I can go in and fix those if I need to. My books are falling over. Yep, no, that's where I've got multiples of the same book. I do tend to put the extra ones aside, because when I list those, I want to put photos of those in rather than photos of the original one, because, you know, they could be quite different. Now, I like to put these in alphabetical order. You don't have to. Dawn Spells, but they're last. So it's just a matter of, sorting them. Oh, I want you to go down the bottom. There we go. So that's the books. So we're going to update the variations, and then we go add rows. Now, then we come to this part here, which we will do after we've taken the photos. And I'll show you how to create the thumbnail to go in there and what I do in there. So let's go down to the actual books. And what I do is if the books have a barcode, I put them in, because if someone searches, because not many people put barcodes in, but if someone does search via the barcode, my book's going to come up as being available. So for the sake of spending that couple of, a quick sec to do that, my book might come up first. So just scan those in. I mean, you don't have to, and that is time consuming to do by hand. So my advice would be is if you don't have a scanner, then I wouldn't put those in, because it's just going to take you way too long. From here, I would then generally go into Terapeak and do a price check to see what these are going for, to see how much I'm going to sell these each for. So we're going to go across to Terapeak, and I'm just going to scan a couple of these in to get an idea of the price. This is if generally I've probably already checked the prices, but these ones just to show you how I do that. So I'll just go in and check. So that one's gone for $4.52, and then they're selling, so they're selling with free postage around the $14.50. So I'm going to list these fairly low so that mine does get sold. So I'll list them probably about $4.88 for these ones. But we will check a couple more, because some of them might be going for better money than others. So this one's going for, the last time this one was sold was $8.71. So that's better. I'm liking that a bit more. And then check this one. That one's only going for $3. Well, I'm not going to list one of my books for $3. There's been no solds of that one, which is not very encouraging, but needs must. They need to be listed. Yeah, everyone's got those listed way too high, I think. They've got them listed for like $11 plus post. And I'm actually going to list mine, after looking on average, I'm going to list mine for $7.88. All right, so let's go back to our original screen, and I'm going to just do this tick here. You can put individual prices in if you want to for each book. So sometimes, like, you might have a particular book that you're putting in a run of books that is worth a lot more than the others, and in that case I would put the higher price on. But for these ones, I'm going to do an average price. I worked it out at $7.88. So then I'm going to go save and close. And of course, you'll see there's no photos or anything in there just yet. So this is just a draft. And then I'm going to add in that extra author. I don't knock all the books on the floor. Why does he have to have such a long name? Oops, Mark Reighbam. So I'll put him in there, because if someone's searching for him, then my listing will also come up. So now those books are ready for taking photos of. So I just put them in the trolley, ready to take into the photo room. And then I'll just keep going then and add more. So I'm going to go and do some more. So I've done the item specifics. I'm going to scroll down and I'm just going to go save for later. And now that's in my, now that's in my drafts, ready to go. And I will see you after I've got some more ready to do photos. Right, we're just going over to Dropbox first, because I use Dropbox to transfer my photos from my phone onto my computer. Now, previously I was using a double-ended flash drive that had an iPhone connector one end and a USB the other end, but something's happened to that and my phone's not recognizing it. So I don't know whether it's the phone. It's an iPhone 11 Max Pro, so it's getting a little bit older. So maybe it's the phone, so I don't know. Anyway, so I've gone back to using this. It's free to use up to 2 gigabyte of data. I've never gone over that, because after I've downloaded these onto my computer, I delete them and then it's ready to go the next day. So all you do, I already uploaded them in my phone. So I'm just going to open it up on the computer there. As you see, you just tick that little box there, which will select all of the photos. Then you just choose download, and I'm going to put them into a folder that I've already made on my flash drive that I keep these on, because then it doesn't matter whether I'm using my laptop or the desktop. I've got the photos with me, and I put them in a folder by date, and that way they don't get muddled up. There's only so many photos each day, and you know when you actually listed something, and that's when the day that you took the photos usually, or a couple of days either side, so it works out well. So I'm just going to save that into that folder, and it'll tell me it shouldn't take too long because there's not very many photos today. There we go, downloaded. And then all you do is click on this little box with the arrow, and that will open the zip archive utility on a MacBook, and it's going to unzip the folder and put the photos on my computer. And there we go. There's the photos on my computer. So that's all fine and well. So I'll just close that down for a minute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another page on my computer, and I'm going to open up Canva. So Canva is what I use to make the little designs and the collages that I use on mine. You don't have to do this. You can just put a plain photo up, totally up to you. But I'll show you how I do mine. So I go create a design, and I go custom size, and I select 640 by 640 because I want square ones. And then I get a blank, wait for everything to load. And then we go to search for something. I'm going to search for some templates, some photo collage templates, which is coming up because that was the last thing I did. And there's all different ones, like photo grid. You can scroll along here and get all different ones. But today I'm going to go for a 4-photo grid, and I just want something plain. So I'm just going to go for this one, which is that. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm going to create a blank well, technically it won't be blank, a blank template. So I'm going to delete the photos that are in here because I just want one that I can put my photos into. So there's a little thing of writing there and that. I'll get rid of that as well. Right, so now I've got the blank. Then what else? Well, I want to put my little buy two, get one free element. So go to elements. And you'll see I've got here recently used. But if you just do a search for buy two, get one free, all different ones come up. And you can go into your graphics here and see all the different ones. So there's lots of different choices. You don't stick to exactly what I've done. Please don't stick to exactly the one that I've chosen. Some are free, some are not. So yeah, if you search, or you can make your own. So I'm just going to, I've put that there, I'm going to make that smaller. Wants to go into the photo thing, and I'm going to put it in the middle. So that essentially is going to be my blank template now. So I'm actually going to rename this, and I'm going to name it blank for photo, and I'm going to save it because I want that to be there when I go. So now I'm going to go to home. I'm going to close that one down. Right, so now I've got my blank for photo. I'm going to put a star on it. And that way it will be on this side bit here every time I want it, which is every day just about. So what I do then is I'm going to go to it over here and I'm going to click on the little dots. And if I do that, I'll go make a copy. And if you just scroll underneath the photos, you'll see where it is. Here's our copy. And I again click on the little photos and I'm going to say open in a new tab. So I want it to open up in a separate tab. So here it is opened up in the separate tab. And then we've got to do our photos. So what we do is we go over here to this thing and we go upload, and then we go upload files, and you can select the files that you want to upload. And so I've got some here that I want to upload for other variation listings, including the one that we're doing. All right, so then go open and they will come up in here. But we want to do the Catherine Kerr ones. So when that stops loading, which is about now, I think, I'm going to select my Catherine Kerr books. And all you do is you hover over it and then slide the photo toward the corner, and it will actually insert itself in there under the sticker and put it, you can put it just where you want to put it. There's this one, like so, and this one, and then this one. And there we have it. There's our 4-picture collage. And so then I'm going to rename it, which I should have done at the start, so I didn't forget. Catherine Kerr, like so. Then I'm going to go share. I'm going to go download, download again, and wait for it to be ready to copy. Now I have a separate folder where I put those. So I put those in downloads and I put them in the buy two, get one free folder, and that will put that particular one in there. So that's all done. So that is all ready to go now. So we're going to go back to our listing. So in here, we're just going to go add photos, and I'm going to go to my downloads folder where I put the buy two, get one free. And if I go down, I should find Catherine Kerr. So I'm going to highlight that one, and then I'm going to hold my shift key down. I'm going to highlight this one and this one. So you only have to put the one photo in, but eBay likes 3 photos everywhere. So by doing this, I'm putting in 3 photos. So the first one being this one, which is actually our photo collage, which will be the main photo people see. Then I put this one. So this is the next photo that people see when they do it. They'll see buy, post is $9.99 no matter how many books you buy. Subtle way of doing that little bit of extra advertising. And then for my third photo, I've just got my logo. So that's all fine and well. Then I go down here and there's a button here called Use Default Photos. So I'm just going to click on that and go to title, and that brings up the individual titles and allows me to put photos in for each of those. So now I'm going to go add photos, and I'm going to go back to my folder where the photos are. And the first one is A Time of Justice. Now, most of these should be right because I think I took them in order. So I put the 3 photos in for that one. So then Dagger Spell should be the next one. But I do check these because I have been known to put the wrong photos with the wrong book before. So I go through quickly and load these up. And then once they've all loaded up, I do go back and double check because, as I said, I have been known to put the wrong photos with the wrong book. And then I worry because if someone buys it, which someone did buy a particular book, I was then worried, did they pick off the picture or did they pick off the title? So that always worries me. So I just check this. So time of justice, yes, is correct. Dagger spell, yes. Dawn spell, yes. Make sure that's right. Dark spell, yes. And then the last one, palace, yes. So they're all there. So all the photos are in there. We've already done all the pricing and everything. So all we have to do now is go save and close. And now we're back on our main page. And if you want to double check everything's correct there, but just make sure that's loaded. Make sure your description is how you want, and we're ready to go, and we're going to go list it. And we'll have a look at the listing. We'll go view listing, just so that we can see what it looks like. So here it is, listed. So this is what the people will see, and they'll see that as the first photo, and they can actually flip through the photos if they want. But you'll notice when you get to the different photos for the books, the actual title here changes. So watch this. When I get to the ones that's for the next one, the title changes. So if there's a price change, that'll also change. Apparently eBay is running a coupon at the moment. I've seen that a couple of times on mine. It's not my coupon, but yeah, here it is. Auto 12T eBay plus. But yeah, so that's what people will see with the listing. And then we go down here I should show you that, or they can just go here and select from the drop-down box to go to whichever book they want. So they might be looking for a particular title. So all they have to do is go here, find the actual title of the book that they want, and then actually go to it there. And they add that to their cart. Then they go back and get their second book, add that to their cart, go back and get their third book, add that to their cart, and then they're right to go. And so if they want to only select 2 out of that listing, they can, and then they can click on this link here, which will take us, hopefully. Then they can go into these other listings of mine and select a third book and add that to their cart. And then the cheapest one will become free. So essentially, that is how you do it. Oh, you do have to do the order discount, which, I am going to show you another time because otherwise this is going to get too long. I have shown that before, how to do the order discount. So if anyone has any hassles with that, let me know and I will show you how to do the order discount. You can actually do it by a coupon, buy 2, get 1 free, and they use a coupon to get the 1 free. Or you can do it like I've done it, which is through the advertising dashboard, and I do it as an order discount. So when they buy 2, they get the 1 free. So that is it. Don't forget to go over and watch OCTO'S latest stuff. See what he's up to, the little devil. And I will see you next time. Bye now, boys and girls.